Hello, my name is Steve McQuarrie and I'm a technical marketing engineer with Cisco's Server Switching and Virtualization product group. This video is part of a series that is intended to show some of the unique advantages made possible by Cisco's server offering called the Unified Computing System, or UCS for short. This video will show the viewer the advantages of using the Cisco Server Configuration Utility for standalone UCS C-Series rack mounts. It will demonstrate the advantages of using the Server Configuration Utility for hard drive setup, assisted OS installation, and driver injection of standard operating systems supported on the Cisco UCS C-Series servers. Server Configuration Utility is a bootable ISO that is either available as a download from cisco.com or ships with servers that have optical drives, or can be booted from the Cisco FlexFlash if that is chosen as an option for the server. So we'll go to the server SIMC and open a KVM session, then we'll go to the virtual media. From here, we'll map the image to the ISO, to the virtual media, and then reboot the server. By default, the DVD-ROM should be one of the bootable options in the BIOS, and the server should boot up in the Server Configuration Utility once we restart. Once the server restarts and SCU loads, we'll be prompted for an end-user license agreement, so we'll accept the terms and then click Next to open SCU. SCU has multiple options, but here we're going to concentrate on server configuration and OS install. To prepare the server for OS install, we first need to configure the hard drives. SCU has the ability to configure the onboard RAID controller or the LSI adapter mezzanine card or PCIe card. This is advantageous over going into the system, booting it up, and selecting the option ROM to configure the RAID controller. We have options within SCU to configure automatic setup, or we can specify a particular RAID level and then select the drives and the RAID level that we want configured. We can also make modifications within SCU and create multiple volumes if we wanted to have one volume for OS install and another volume for data store. So as we go through, we select the drive configuration we want, or we select automatic setup with redundancy or without redundancy, which is essentially RAID level 0 or RAID level 1 for all drives within the system. Once we've completed the partitioning of the hard drive or the setup of the hard drive, we then want to go to the OS install. From here, we have the option to choose the supported operating systems for the server and then to basically set it up so that it's an assisted or scripted install so that we don't have to go through and answer the questions as we're going through the install. We have the option of a custom install or a quick install. Another feature of SCU is that it has the drivers for the different operating systems on the media, so that we don't have to go through and mount and unmount a driver's disk as we're doing an install. As we'll see later, we also have the option to download these from cisco.com. Within the custom install, we can go through and answer the questions that normally we would be prompted for during an OS install. Personalization, such as the name, the computer name, etc. We'll then go down and select the partition that we created earlier to install the operating system on. After we select the partition, we have the option to go down and customize the adapters so that the operating system will already know whether it's DHCP or static address. SCU sees the installed adapters that are supported or shipped with the C-Series server. We can then select other options such as whether or not to enable RDP or disable the firewall. As we see here, from a driver perspective, we have options of where to get the drivers from. By default, it will get them from the SCU as it was loaded, but we can also go to cisco.com. From here, we can put in a Cisco username and password for cisco.com, and it will download the latest drivers as we're doing the install. We also have the option to put the drivers out on a network share so that we can download them or point to them for multiple systems. We could use the SCU boot media, which is the default, or we could do from a USB key. By default, all drivers are chosen, and it will only install the ones that are pertinent for a particular system, or if we want, we can select them individually within SCU so that we have the right driver set up. This is really nice because otherwise we would have to go through the install process and actually tell SCU, or not tell SCU, tell the operating system which drivers we wanted to install, and a lot of times this means we'll have to mount and unmount media during the install process, which adds to the hands-on time from the server administrator. We'll go through SCU here and we'll select the different drivers, including the chipsets, the drivers for the onboard controllers, and the LSI RAID adapter. Now the server or the OS will see the adapter, see the configuration for the RAID as it starts the install. After we've completed that, we'll add an image for our operating system and unmap the image to the ISO itself. This is not a problem because SCU is now loaded into memory. We no longer need that ISO. Once we select the ISO, we'll be able to start the install by clicking OK. SCU will then reboot and we'll go through the standard process. So the server will boot up and it will start the boot process. Normally in booting and installing an operating system, we would have to go through and answer a bunch of questions. But SCU has the script from our answers before that allows this to now be unattended, so we can go on and do other things. Once the server's booted, we restart and we add the passwords and other configuration options that have to be done after the server is rebooted and it completes its process. Once we do this and log into the server should be up and operational for us to use, including all of the drivers and everything that we need for an operational server. To recap, server preparation and OS driver installation can be challenging and time-consuming in many environments. The C-Series server configuration utility helps ease these challenges by being a tool for drive setup and assisted installation of the operating system with driver injection. This ends this UCS Advantage video, where we show how the unique capabilities in the Cisco UCS can lead to simplified deployment models with much faster service turnaround to meet the increasing demands of the business. Please go to www.cisco.com/go/UCS for printed collateral, including a brochure that highlights the information shown in this video. Thank you.